interview with Natalie, the owner of VWax, regarding business questions. So we've got business names. Like, how do you ensure that you choose the right business name for yourself?
So business names, it's very, very important part of, well, building a brand really. So for instance, if I advertise myself as Natalie's Beauty, Natalie's Beauty, let's say, what actually is that? You know, I'm a wax specialist, but I class myself as being in the beauty industry. So Natalie's Beauty, I'm going to have that because I want everyone to know who I am. When that actually gets put out to the public, if you don't do your correct advertising, they're not going to know what you are. Do you do lashes? Do you do makeup? Do you do fat dissolving? Do you do facials? Do you do massage? Beauty is so broad that it doesn't define the quality and who you are. So I always say to people, specialise in one thing, have a maximum of 3 treatments if you're going to do something else. So for myself personally, we just specialise in waxing, intimate being our primary service. So obviously, if I'm within the wax industry, then I'm going to have that in my name because that's important. So when I put that out to the public understands and recognises that I am specialist in my waxing area. So whatever name that you come up with, have that understanding and consideration. And then when it obviously comes to the logo and the branding, try and keep everything matching and on point. So with a logo, generally you would have like 3 colours within that logo. So for VWax, obviously we've got the pink, orange and the black. But yeah, I wouldn't really have any more than the 3 just because it does mix it up a little bit. People have a certain understanding of 3. So psychology wise, it does help and benefit your business more long term if they kind of get used to that structure. So yeah, consider what you're going to specialise in and then have that somewhere within the name.
From your experience of owning various premises, what advice would you give to people that is looking to take on a new premises?
Okay, so when you take on a new premises, it's very exciting, but it can be very costly. So when you are looking at a premises and you're taking on a premises, the lease that you will sign will generally be for the minimum of 3 years. And in that lease, absolutely everything is your responsibility. The boiler, the electrics, the cosmetics, the toilet, like whatever it is, you are held full responsibility. If anything messes up, you have to replace it, and nothing is to the cost of the landlord. So I've always done up buildings. I've taken on really bad buildings in return for rent-free period, or even one building I only had to pay. I got 3 months rent-free, and then I got half price rent for a full year. Obviously I am a good bargainer. I'm not afraid to ask for what I want. That's really important as well. Don't be afraid to tell landlords what you want. So if the building is bad, they know it's bad. It will cost them, however much to renovate the building. So it's in their best interest really to just, let you have that time rent free, do it up. And then obviously if you leave that premises, they've got that as like an asset. So yeah, make sure you check everything. I've taken on a building before when I was young and naive, and you know, the gas and electric was condemned. I didn't realise, I didn't check before I actually signed the lease. So it was my responsibility then to then rewire the whole building, put a new boiler system in there, and I didn't budget for that. So that affected the interior side of things, and overall it cost me about £20,000. That's extreme, but that is what I had to anticipate. I did have two other supporting buildings that financed that, but it does take a chunk out of obviously your profits and everything else. So understand what you're actually taking on. If it's damp, if it's got problems, I would avoid it. There's loads of premises out there, there's loads of deals to be had. And if I was to go forward again with another premises, I would probably take on something that's a little bit more, not as a challenge to something that, you know, looks absolutely horrendous, because it does cost as time goes on. So take that into consideration. Make sure the windows are all okay. Make sure the doors are all okay. Does it have any sort of security? Are you going to put any security on there? Because, you know, people, you know, will quite happily be drunk and, you know, go and smash your windows. I've had that happen multiple times. Insurances don't help you with, you know, financing that. Everything comes out of your own money. So yeah, consider absolutely everything, and anything that you do take on, if you think it's going to be like X amount, put another, you know, £3,000 on top of that, just in case, just so that you've got that security of not messing up further down the line.